Well, at the start of chapter 7 of 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul spoke a lot about marriage and the responsibilities that husbands and wives have for each other. And now as he continues through chapter 7 of 1 Corinthians, he's going to speak to the other categories of people in the church, namely those who are unmarried and those who are unhappily married. But firstly, Paul's going to speak to those who are unmarried. And firstly, he's going to start speaking about singles. And so read with me from verse 6 and 7 of chapter 7 of 1 Corinthians. It says this: "Now as a concession, not a command, I say this, I wish that all were as I myself am, but each has his own gift from God, one of one kind and one of another." Paul, when speaking about singleness, speaks of it in a very, very positive manner. In fact, you might notice that Paul actually says, I wish that all were as myself. In other words, Paul's saying, I wish that all were single. Now, of course, Paul's not speaking literally there. He's not literally saying, I wish that every single person on the planet was single. If that were the case, then there would be no procreation and life would end pretty quickly for humanity. But what he's saying, he's really exaggerating a point in the same way you might say, I wish every day was Christmas. You don't literally mean that you wish every single day was Christmas. But if you were to say that, someone would get the idea, you think Christmas is great. And so when Paul says, I wish that everyone was single, he's not speaking literally, but rather what we're to glean from that is Paul thinks singleness is great. And this is coming from the Apostle Paul, someone who himself is single. He may have been previously married, most rabbis were. It could be that his wife has passed away. It could be that his wife left him upon his radical change of allegiance to Christianity. Or it could be possible that Paul has just always been single his entire life. But regardless of which category the Apostle Paul falls into, we can be sure at this point he is single and that he thinks singleness is great. In fact, you'll notice what he says in these verses. He says that it's a gift from God. I think we should be careful when we think about the idea of singleness as a gift from God. Many Christians talk about singleness as a gift, as in it's almost a spiritual gift, in the sense that someone has the gift of hospitality, and someone else has the gift of teaching, and someone else has the gift of compassion, and then someone else has the gift of singleness. But I don't think that's exactly what the Apostle Paul means when he speaks of singleness as a gift. Rather, he says singleness is a gift in the same way that marriage is a gift. That's the way he sets up the idea of singleness as a gift. Look what he says in verse 7. "But each has his own gift from God, one of one kind and one of the other." So when Paul speaks of singleness as a gift, he's speaking it as a gift in the same way that marriage is a gift. So someone has the gift of singleness, someone has the gift of marriage. It could be that someone enjoys the gift of singleness for a season and then enjoys the gift of marriage for a season. And so Paul says singleness, like marriage, is a gift to be enjoyed. And so in what ways is singleness a gift? Well, perhaps the greatest and most obvious one that maybe Paul has in mind is that those who are single are granted more flexibility to avail of gospel service in a way that those who are married or those who have families cannot avail themselves of. And so in that sense, singleness is a great gift. But in life, you really have four categories of people, don't you? You have those who are happily married, those who are unhappily married, those who are happily single, and those who are unhappily single. And quite often those who are unhappily single are dissatisfied or unhappy at their current state because of the fact that they maybe have believed the cultural lies or the cultural errors that are so often preached in our world, and maybe, if we're honest, preached within Christian communities as well. And the first one is the error that sex is the ultimate expression of fulfillment in life. Our culture has idolized sex as the be-all and end-all and the greatest thing and greatest human experience. But as we've discovered, as we've read through the New Testament, that is not the case. Sex is not the ultimate expression of life. It's not the ultimate fulfillment that can be found in life. No, that is not the case. That is an idolatrous view of sex. But the second error that quite often culture preaches, and one that perhaps we believe, is that family is the be-all and end-all. We tend to idolize family. Now, of course, family, again, is good. It's a gift from God. But it's not the ultimate thing. It's something which to be enjoyed but not idolized. And quite often our idolizing of family has negative effects on the view and importance of friendship and the crucial role that it plays and the intimacy that it should hold within our interpersonal relationships. And so here's your challenge for today. What season of life are you in What gift of God are you currently enjoying? Is it the gift of singleness, or is it the gift of marriage? And as you think about what category of those you currently fall into, how can you use the gift that God has currently given you to more fully avail yourself of gospel service? Hope you have a great day.